What is up, you guys? It is me, Gracie Davidson, the social media coordinator for the I2C and your host of Wednesday Wisdom. Welcome back to Smart Community Chats. Today with me is Emily and Haley, two girls from the Nerdettes, along with their team mom, Debbie. The Nerdettes are an all-girls high school robotics team. They're going to discuss who they are, what they do, and much more. I'm super excited and ready to jump in. Let's get started, guys. Hello, girls. How are y'all? Thank y'all for being here. So start us off by telling who y'all are, introducing your role on the team.
Hi, I'm Emily King. I'm in 11th grade. I've been doing robotics for 8 years, and I'm lead mechanical, and I'm a driver.
Hi, I'm Haley Holsenbach, and I'm the lead programmer. This is only my third year in robotics, and I'm a junior at Huntsville High School.
Who are the Nerdettes?
We're an all-girls robotics team that started about 9 years ago from a Girl Scout troop. We began as First Lego League and have advanced to First Tech Challenge. We currently have 7 team members that go to Huntsville High or JP2. We meet every week as a team to work on our robot.
What are some of the roles y'all have?
We currently have 7 girls on our team. 2 on programming, Haley and Megan. 2 on CAD, Ellen and Ava. 2 on mechanical, Sydney and myself, and Avriel, who just picked up electrical, but she's still trying to find what she loves to do. We also have unofficial roles on our team that we all pitch in for, like communications, outreach, engineering notebook, scouting, and fundraising.
You talked about you doing mechanical. What are some of the activities mechanicals do?
Well, the mechanical group, we build robot, we design it, we decide what we want the robot to do, we plan for all the challenges that we're going to do, and then we hand it over to Haley to program all the complicated stuff.
So what is programming like?
Very difficult and very annoying, if I'm completely honest. Sometimes the programming doesn't work all the time. Like, you have this idea and you want to implement it, and then you try it out and you code it all out, and then bam, it doesn't work. So it's a lot of trial and error, honestly. We're still trying to figure out how to make our programming super easy, with methods, which are kind of you basically have to make a whole thing, and then you just input numbers instead of having to program the commands every single time. But especially for movement and stuff, we sometimes struggle because the mats on the floor are slippery sometimes, more slippery than ours, and so the robot might move too far forward or not, and so it's just a lot of trial and error. It's very difficult.
Is each competition area different compared to y'all's? So everyone varies, or are they very similar?
It's not really the field that differs, it's the building itself. So the lighting can change programming. There's just a lot of elements of things that can mess it up.
How old their field is. If the field's older, then our robot might move differently on it because it has wear and tear on it. And
same with static electricity.
I know y'all have y'all's on the website, and it talked about gracious professionalism. What's that?
So gracious professionalism is doing your best while also helping others do their best. For example, on build days, we try to do our best and demonstrate robots' capabilities and our own ideas so that the other teams can pick off of our ideas and build off of them. And so in turn, we kind of steal their ideas.
You're all helping each other. You're all helping each other.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. It's helping everyone and respecting everyone while also having fun.
I know you said, Emily, you didn't do the website, but who all was involved in working on the website?
Ava McIntosh.
And our old member, Ava Obel, but she had to leave. They were the main two.
It's mostly Ava McIntosh.
It looks very beautiful, though. I'm very impressed. Y'all's looks very good. Where did the logo of the Nerdettes come from? Now we're talking about more of the creative side, and we're on the website talking.
When we started out, we wore pink suspenders and pink bow ties with our black nerd glasses. As we got older, we wanted to keep the bow tie as our trademark, but we also wanted to mature a little. So my mom found a marketing and communications company called Active 8 Communications who donated their time and designed it for us. And we love what they did, and we've kept it ever since.
All right, Miss Debbie, it's time to talk to you. What was it like you coming on as team mom?
Gosh, I've been with the Nerdettes since they were tiny, and mostly just helped with fundraising and that kind of stuff. But once the team handed off to my husband, Mark, a couple of years ago, I got more and more engaged. But I love working with the Nerdettes. They're super smart, super creative, super fun, and love it.
Have you hit any obstacles while being team mom?
Yes, we have had some really challenging times. Like I said, a couple of years ago, we lost both of our head coaches and our lead mentor and 4 of our super talented girls.
So it kind of left you with a blank canvas right then.
It did. It was really hard, but we didn't want to quit. I mean, the girls remaining on the team wanted to stick around. They wanted to keep doing robotics, and so we had to find a way. My husband stepped up to coach, and we conned another dad, Haley's dad, into helping to coach, and we picked up a couple of mentors this year, and I feel like we're doing pretty good. It was a really challenging time, but we got through it.
What is it like being an all-girls team? You talked about your struggles, but have y'all had struggles with being an all-girls team?
Well, originally, I was on a team with boys and girls, and my experience from that team was that boys don't typically let the girls be around the robot itself because they think that girls will be better for making the posters and things like that. But personally, I wanted to build and drive a robot. So we started an all-girls team. And on our team, we all have our own roles, but we still share everything with each other. We work really hard, but we also have a lot of fun while working.
And we can make everything pink without any dudes being like, ew, pink, no, because I know they hate that color.
Tell me about that. I saw where some of your robots have pink parts. I know you said they made them and bought some of them. How'd y'all make the parts?
That would be Ellen and Ava. They do CAD, and we buy pink filament for our 3D printer.
Awesome.
So everything that they design on CAD, we always print in pink.
It takes so long for that one piece to come out, even the smallest piece, because it has to go layer by layer by layer.
Yeah, it's hours.
Kind of have an idea how long or the biggest piece it was it took to print?
Yeah,
Something
like
like
16 hours, I know.
Ooh.
Yeah, because my dad prints them at night at our house sometimes.
You have to, because you have to have it going all day. Yes.
And they're kind of loud, and it's near my bedroom, so.
Just, yeah.
All night long.
Your robot really stands out at competition because of all of your pink parts, right?
It's bright pink.
It is bright pink.
I
That's
love
the goal.
that. It matches the bow tie and the
Yes.
logo.
We like to be matchy-matchy. Everything has to be pink.
We just love the color pink that much.
I love it. It's a very positive color. You couldn't go wrong with it.
Exactly.
What awards and competitions have the Nerdettes won?
Our journey in robotics began in 2015 when I was 9 as a first LEGO League team. In our second year as a first LEGO League team, we won second place in Alabama in the Alabama State competition. And we were invited to internationals in Legoland, California, where we won first place in strategy and design. I think it was our risk management approach that wowed the judges. They asked our parents if they were rocket scientists.
Good one for you, Miss Debbie.
Our experience at internationals, meeting teams from all over the world, had us hooked on robotics. In 2018, we transitioned from FLL to FTC, which is a bigger, more advanced robot. In 2019, we were honored to receive the Rising Star Award from the National Space Club, which was a huge honor. In 2020 and 2021, we won the Connect Award at both Alabama and Arkansas state competition, which recognizes teams for connecting the dots between the community first and in the engineering world. We received these awards because we do a lot of outreach trying to get more girls into robotics. Over the years, we've had a total of 14 girls be a part of our team. We like bringing in new teammates and hope to make our team sustainable after we head out to college.
You talked about being there since day one.
Yes.
What's it like seeing all these girls come through? And has it been tough being there since day one?
I think making all the new friendships that I make through robotics is one of the best parts because we meet a lot of new girls through robotics, and that's so many new friendships. Like Haley, who came along 3 years ago, and now we're like best friends, and we do.
What was it like starting in the middle of a team? Like this team was already built and you just hopped in.
It was really weird. I only knew my one friend who got me on the team, which was Ava, and I knew the other girls from school, but I never really talked to them before. And then there was like Lena, who was on the team at that time, and I think Ellen was on the team, or she just joined that year.
Yeah,
but
no, she joined a year after you.
I don't know. It was just really weird because I was so nervous to go there. I was really scared of them. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know, I was scared of them. But they were really nice. They were really welcoming. I don't know. It was just weird going in, and I wasn't sure I was gonna like robotics because I just did Cyber Patriots. I just did cyber stuff. So I'd never even programmed. So they were like, program, and I was like, I don't know how to do that. But I really like being on the team, and I've made friends with Emily and Sydney and everyone on the team, and I'm really happy that I've joined.
I think another thing that might have made it challenging is you had to come to our house.
Yeah.
Because we were doing robotics out of our home because that's the only place we could do robotics. So she didn't only just have to walk into a new team.
You went to a stranger's house.
Yes. But they had dogs, so it was okay. That's one of the reasons why I stayed, because they had really cute dogs. So I was like, oh, if they have cute dogs, they got to be good people.
Your reasoning sounds very flawless. It really does. What skills have you learned from being on the team? Not just like the hard factors of mechanical and programming, but like the soft skills as well.
Well, depending on our roles, there are different skills that we've each learned. Personally, being a programmer, as I said, I knew no programming, like, at all. I had maybe basic knowledge in Python, which is a programming language, but now I know how to program in Java. I can make the robot move and do cool things, which I never thought I could.
That's very impressive. That's awesome.
Thank you. But I've also learned how to I had to learn the hardware to actually learn how to program it, because if I don't know what the hardware is supposed to do, how am I supposed to program it to do what it's supposed to do? But I've also learned how to make my public speaking skills bad. I hate going up in crowds. Absolutely hate it. But with robotics, you're kind of forced to do that because you have to go in front of judges and present, and then you have to talk to all these people that you've never met before because you're put on a team in the competitions. So you have to talk to them and be like, okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? So my communication skills have definitely improved since being on this team.
We have to do things like podcasts now.
Hey, this is the big leagues.
This is so cool.
What other high schoolers can say, were you on a podcast?
Exactly.
I mean, and this equipment is pretty cool just to
It
even
is
get to
cool.
listen to
I
it.
like these microphones.
Me too.
So what is like a typical competition day? Walk me through the process. We just woke up. It's competition day. What are we doing?
Okay, we wake up really early.
Way too early.
Way too early. We set
We
up our
get there,
stuff.
we set up our stuff, we have this whole booth, and we put up all our little trophies, and we have all these pictures. We have like this giant board that has like sticky stuff on it, so we put up all these pictures and stuff, and we make our area look all cutesy. And then we go around and we start asking all the teams, okay, hey, what can your robot do? Ours can do this. You want to, like, if we're teamed up together, what should our game plan be? And then once we figure out who's actually going to be on our teams, there was like a whole presentation, and they're like, the competition's about to start, and then here's your team.
Yeah, it's called kickoff. We go in there and they like introduce all the teams, and everybody yells and screams, and we all get excited before we do the robot matches, because you also have to do judging and stuff, which is not the fun part. The fun part is the robot part.
Oh, yeah, and at the very beginning, we all are scrambling because we have these scripts that we have to memorize for the presentation, so we have to scramble to make sure that we know it, and then we have to go up in front of the judges, which is always a scary, nerve-wracking experience. And then afterwards, we kind of take a breather for like maybe 5 seconds before we had to scramble again and try and get the robot ready for the actual competition.
What does the robot do in the competition?
It depends on the season. Like, well, every season there's different tasks that you have to do. And there's always an autonomous period, so a part where the robot is just all code. You can't even touch the controller. It has to do everything by itself. And there's a bunch of hard things. Like last year, we had to like move this whole
Ring toss stick.
a giant ring toss stick, and we had to move it across to a certain square based on like how many blocks were stacked up in front of us. It was really confusing. And then we had to like shoot rings up into the things, all while doing programming.
You're getting like different tasks per competition, so
Yes,
you're having to change this robot through these
yeah.
competitions.
Every year it's a new robot. We always have to start from scratch, brand new.
Oh, so
ground
y'all
up.
don't even get to keep that one.
We keep the
We keep
basic
the stuff.
chassis of it, and we keep the stuff, yeah, but we have to completely redesign it every single year, because then after the autonomous, we have teleop, and then Emily has to go and drive it and figure out
Well, like
how to drive
last
it
year,
properly.
we have these little bars that we have to drive our robot over. So our robot has to be lifted more than it was last year. So we basically had to take apart our entire last year's robot so that we could lift it, because last year's was too short and it would get stuck on the bars. So it's a whole redesign every year.
On the controller, all the buttons will be different, so they have to relearn the controls for the robot every year, so it's a lot.
That's very impressive. Miss Debbie, has COVID affected the team and how it works in any competitions?
Yes. I would say COVID definitely affects the team. Typical season starts in early October and ends in February or March. Last year we started in October and we didn't finish until June. It was a really long season. We didn't get to compete live at all. They were virtual meetings, and videoing your competition from your
It's not as fun as actual competition.
No, because we love the car rides up to Arkansas, because it's like 9 hours away, and we all get in one minivan. We all sing and yell and do all our fun Arkansas trip things. We didn't get to do that. We only got to do it once.
That sounds so fun, Miss
It was so
Debbie. I
fun.
bet you love car rides.
My husband loves driving the car.
He drives.
My dad hates it. He saw how many times we're going to Arkansas this year, and he was like, "Are you kidding me? I don't want to go to Arkansas again."
We love the Arkansas trips.
I love going to Arkansas.
What's
Yeah.
one of y'all's favorite songs to sing in the car?
Ooh,
A lot of Justin Bieber.
a lot of Justin Bieber. Baby by Justin Bieber.
Baby!
Oh, yeah.
We all do 2000s hits.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all the stuff we listened to when we were 7, all the way up there.
This year, because of COVID, we've lost a lot of teams in Alabama. They just folded their tents and aren't going to compete this year because it was so hard. Time Travelers and
Grace.
Grace went too.
Oh, Motorized Mayhem.
Yep, they quit.
They also lost a lot of people because they aged out. Age out at 18.
So each state can close their borders if they have enough team. Alabama is one of the few states that has open borders where anybody can come here and compete in Alabama. So we only have 21 teams this year in the state of Alabama.
How would you go about setting a team? But if somebody was listening to this podcast, how would they go out about and doing it?
The best way would be to go meet with the First in Alabama sponsors, and they will give you all of the information that you need to start a team. They have a great website loaded with info for coaches and information about grants, funding, just a lot of information out there to help you get started.
What is FIRST?
Well, FIRST stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. It's an international youth organization that puts on a bunch of different robotic competitions, and we participate specifically in FIRST Tech Challenge. But as Emily said, there's also FIRST Lego League, and then
First Robotics, it's the really big robots, like huge robots.
It's the college level teams.
So what are the different levels in robotics?
Junior FLL, which is a step under FLL, which is what I started with. I actually did 1 year of junior FLL, which is just Legos. There's nothing moving. It's Legos and a project. And so you build it, and it's for like first, second grade. And then you move up to FLL, which is what grade 8 Nerdettes, which was the first version of the Nerdettes, was the grade 8.
With the ones with the nerd glasses and the pink suspenders.
That was version 1 of Nerdettes. Grade 8 was before that.
Oh, so this is the dawn before time of Nerdettes.
Yes, it was. It was the first ever Nerdettes team, but they weren't called the Nerdettes, so they don't really count. Anyways, that's FLL, and we did that for a couple years. Went to nationals, internationals, and then we switched over to FTC, which is what we do now, and that's for 7th grade to 12th grade. And then there's FRC, which is, I think it's 9 to 12. And it's really big robots. They're like 2-3 feet tall, huge parts, huge game field. The game field's like twice the size of ours, which is already 12 foot by 12 foot. It's a really big thing.
So when you leave the Nerdettes, are the Nerdettes going to go up to that?
No.
No.
It's really expensive.
And we're just trying to get a lot of younger team members. Like we made a mini team, a mini Nerdette team.
Yeah,
now.
we have a little Nerdette team, which is, they're called the Gear Girls, and
I love that.
they're
That's
an
adorable.
FLL. They're an FLL team, which is what we started off with. And there's two of our girls. It's their little sisters, and then other girls that have decided to join it. So we mentor them, we help them.
But since a lot of us are in 11th grade, we hope that they're gonna like take up the name of the Nerdettes and continue our legacy.
Yeah, we're trying to sustain our team by making Ellen bring her friends, because she's a freshman, and we're all, so there's 1 freshman, 1 sophomore, and then
The rest of us are juniors.
5 juniors. So
So-
next year will be our last year. So then Ellen's going to have to like pull everybody else in, because she's
So the
youngest.
Nerdettes will be looking to add next year.
Yes, we're always looking
How
to
would
add.
you go to add? How would you want people to contact you to see if they could join your team?
Well, we do a lot of outreach, like Space Club breakfasts. That's a lot of engineers, and we always tell them that we're looking for more kids, more girls to join. And all of these parents are like, oh my goodness, of course I want my kid to join a robotics team, because they're engineers, obviously.
Of course.
So every time we go out and do outreach, we always advertise that we're looking for more girls if they want to join, because we're trying to sustain ourselves.
What all outreach events have y'all done?
We do a lot at the middle school. Like the Hampton Cove Middle School has these STEM nights, and we'll go to them, not since COVID, but, before COVID, we used to go to them, and then we'd run our robot around and let kids drive it. And then the most recent one was...
Steam Fest.
Yeah.
And that's where we set up our booth, and it's a bunch of people that come. It's at the BBC. It was free for everybody to go, and it's just people touring all kinds of like STEM activities, so like science, engineering, math, science, and art. That's why it's STEAM now.
Awesome.
But
I
we
just
were there.
learned that. Okay, I didn't know they changed it to STEAM.
It is STEAM. But we were there, and we were showing our robot, telling kids how to join robotics, how to make their own team, and just demonstrating what we do.
It was really cute because we had this little pink dog robot that we let all the little girls drive, like all the little kids drive. And they were really excited about that.
What's your favorite event y'all have been to?
The memorial dinner?
Von Braun Memorial Dinner.
That was so fun.
That
'cause
was
we
the
got
best
to
thing ever.
We got to dress up in like prom level dresses, like the really long fancy ones. We got to get our hair all done and our makeup all done. And we got to go, and it was so much fun.
We got to receive an award and eat all their fancy foods. And I accepted the award and did the little speech stuff on the stage.
And they had these fancy butter that looked like roses, but I thought it was chocolate, so I accidentally ate it, and it was not fun. But other than that, it was great.
We have snack time between robotics. It's a half an hour.
It should be longer.
What is a practice like? How many days a week do y'all practice? Tell me about practice.
1.
We practice 1 day a week because a lot of us are really busy. I know I'm really busy.
We have
but-
programmers that come during the week, though, to do extra stuff. Same with mechanical. We have one big group team practice. It's 4 hours on Sunday, 1 to 5, every Sunday. And then we have snack break in the middle of that, which is a 30-minute break that we all hang out, talk, eat, all the fun things. And then some of us come during the week, so like maybe programming will come for an hour or 2 on like a Wednesday, or mechanical will come for an hour or 2 on a Thursday, and so that we can get extra work done. And then CAD does stuff at home.
So what are like some of the tasks y'all do during practice?
A lot of robot building. And then when I'm not building the robot, because we only have one robot, so when I'm building the robot, Haley can't be programming the robot, which is difficult. But I don't want to build a second robot, even though that's what my dad says we should do. But we build the robot, and then once we finish, we get to a stop where we can pause for a minute. We give it over to Haley. She programs for a little while, and then she figures out there's something wrong with mechanical. So I take it back and I fix it. And then once I fix it, we give it back to Haley, and she does more programming. And then Cad's off on the side building parts for me so that I can fix the robot even better. It's fun. It's a process.
Is it really stressful? It's like when an issue doesn't work and y'all just cannot get it?
Yes. Yeah, it is so annoying because sometimes they make us wait for snack time until I finish stuff. And that is the most frustrating thing in the world.
You get hangry. I totally understand.
Yes. And they make you wait to finish something that's not working.
I just leave and go get snacks. I can't think on an empty stomach. Who can think on an empty stomach?
I totally agree. I had to get my Chick-fil-A before we started. Don't worry. What is y'all's individual favorite things about being on the team?
Outreach. I love outreach activities. Just getting girls into robotics and seeing how excited they get when they get to see our robot and how much they love seeing what we do. That's so fun for me.
We are on a robotics team, but the socializing is my favorite part. I like meeting the new people. I like the friendships that I've made on the team. And just talking to people and meeting people is just really cool. And I know I've met like my bestest friends on this team, so if I wasn't on here, I don't know what I'd be doing, so.
Didn't you say you didn't like speaking to people and you said socializing is your favorite part?
It's a love-hate relationship, okay? Because if everybody's there, I'm okay. If everybody's talking, it's all right. If I'm one-on-one, that's when it's horrifying.
I think she's talking about like making speeches on stages.
Yeah.
Because I do that a lot.
She does that for me. Like when we had the breakfast.
Oh, Space Club breakfast?
At the Space Club breakfast, I just had to say my name and somebody else's name, and I was like,
I do a lot of the big speeches and stuff on this, but in judging, I'm so bad with judging. I cannot talk in judging. I do all of the outreach, like the speeches, the standing on the stage. I can do that just fine. 400 engineers, sure, whatever. 3 judges sitting in front of me judging me? No way, can't do it. Haley does good on that.
But it's a lot different from talking to like littler kids compared to like judges and big fancy engineers that have all these accomplishments. So.
I think y'all like going, part of the competition parts you like, and you can talk more about it, is when you're interfacing with the other teams and getting to know them. And you made really good friends with Diva Force.
Oh, yeah, Diva Force.
More so than socializing, it's socializing just with our other team members, like who we're going to work with, and then figuring out if like what we're going to do to win and then actually winning. Like, you know, when we finally talked everything out and then our plan works, that's another really big part that I like because we like winning.
What are some of the questions that the judges will ask you during a competition?
It really depends because we change our script every year based off of like what we had to do to the robot and whatnot. So they'll ask us specific questions on like, okay, what was the hardest thing this year? Like, how did you guys go about building this part, or how did you get the idea for that?
Or what your strategy was for building.
Yeah. Or they'll ask us what outreach have we done this year, or they ask us what gracious professionalism is to us a lot.
Every year.
Every single year.
So that's something big in this in robotics competition.
Yes.
It's
very big. It's really a big part of FIRST. It always has been. It's like that in FLL, FTC, FRC, all of them. They're all big on gracious professionalism because that's what makes FIRST fun. You don't want to be too competitive.
You don't want to be mean to everybody.
You're supposed to be nice to each other. Make friends, alliances.
What advice would you give to other robotics teams? If we let you say a bunch of robotics teams were listening to this podcast, what is some advice you'd give to them as y'all have struggled, y'all have persevered, accomplished goals?
Don't scare off your mentors.
And don't give up.
Totally fine. Those are some very good ones. Don't scare off Team Mom either. When Emily graduates, do you plan to stay with the Nerdettes?
I think so. Oh. I like it. You know, they're great girls. And I don't know if my husband will let me, but I think so.
We'll there'll be a new team mom. She might like hang out, check up on them, see what they're up to, but maybe Ellen's mom. Ellen's mom can be team mom.
You could always come in and step up and help them out.
Of course I will. I'll still, but I'll be in college too. But like, I'm obviously still going to keep up with them because like, I've been here for such a long time. I can't just leave them. I can't just leave Ellen all alone.
Well, and a lot of former robotics kids come back to mentor.
Yeah, they're mentors. Ben was a mentor. Ben was our mentor. I'm not really sure. But
he's busy with college right now.
He was on a really successful SPTC team, and he went to World like every year. I went to internationals in Australia. Ben was very successful.
What is World?
It's a really large competition in Houston, Texas, most years. Sometimes it's someplace different, but it's always in Texas. And it's where one team from every state comes to Houston, and they all compete with each other to see who's really the best. It's a really cool thing. We haven't gotten to go yet.
And teams from around the world.
Oh, yeah, other teams from around the world. That's why it's called Worlds.
All the videos I've seen make it look like a giant party. It looks so
it looks
fun.
like a big party.
We really want to go.
We want to go.
Have y'all been close to getting to go to World?
We were, what? So to get a...
We got second in Inspire one time.
Yeah, so the Inspire Award is given at, like...
It's given at all state competitions.
All the state competitions, they have this Inspire Award, which is like the big overall award. And then if you get that, you get a ticket to go to World. And we won second one year. So we were this close. We were so close.
Was that the only way you can go to World is by winning that one competition?
We compete in Arkansas, Alabama, and Tennessee most years. So we used to compete in Tennessee. And that gave us 3 shots at a state competition. So you can win any of those 3. So you can be an Alabama team representing Arkansas in Worlds, just like an Arkansas team does to us.
That's, of course, if their borders are open.
There's an Arkansas team that wins in Alabama every year. It is so annoying.
The outrage.
Every year.
It's an agreement between the 2 states that we will allow them to compete here if they will allow us to compete there.
I personally think Florida should open their borders so we can go to the beach while we go
and
do
Disney
robotics.
World. I agree.
Of course. So if their borders aren't open, you can't come in to Alabama.
No.
Technically, you can because we can't close our borders because
there's not enough.
There's not
Yeah,
enough.
so other teams come in and beat us just for the fun of it sometimes.
So we need to get a bunch of original Alabama teams to
more people do robotics. If you're listening to this, make a robotics team.
Yes.
We gotta make the Alabamians win one year.
Yeah, we want to win. Make more teams.
We are one of very few states that don't have enough teams to close our borders.
Which is sad since we're Alabama.
It is really sad.
We're an engineering state.
Mississippi's borders are closed. We can't compete there. They have enough teams to close their borders. Georgia's borders are closed. Florida's are closed. Tennessee's are closed.
So you really don't have much room to work with.
We do a lot of travel out of state because we can't ever find anything. So Arkansas is like, 9 hours?
9 to 12, depending on what city.
Yeah, we've checked. I think, what is it, like Idaho or something's open?
And the interesting thing is that Arkansas has enough teams to close their borders.
They're just nice.
Thank you,
nice.
Arkansas.
Thank you, Arkansas.
We love you.
Exactly.
Y'all need to host an event, a good outreach event to start getting people to make teams over here. Show them what robotics is and see if you can get a bunch of kids y'all's age to come together and see if y'all can do it. That'd be a good way to outreach.
Giant robotics party.
So one of the ways that people can learn about robotics and get involved is to actually come to one of the scrimmages in Alabama. So we're going to have a scrimmage on December 11th, and it's going to be right here at UAH at the CTC. So if there is somebody really interested in robotics, they could come to a scrimmage and see what's happening and learn about robotics and meet some of the people that are
Yeah, they can
on
come
teams.
talk to us.
I
We're
probably
nice.
will stop by and come watch y'all.
You should. It's cool.
You should.
I'm excited. I don't think you understand how excited I was to talk to y'all about this. Fangirling over y'all right now. Especially y'all being an all-girls team. Power to y'all.
Go Power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aren't we the only all-girls team in Alabama?
We were for the... I don't know if we still
not sure.
are because... But... Well, now we have the Ellens.
We've
the little
inspired some people. So
We have.
there are more girls teams than there used to be. I'm
were
not
the
saying
first.
that we're the first, but there are a lot more girls teams now than I used to see. I've never seen as many girls teams in robotics as I have like the past couple of years.
Would you say that the boys weigh out the girls in robotics?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like that in almost every STEM field. Like, I'm in Cyber Patriots, which is, like, completely different, but, like, girls
It's
team,
STEM.
and then everybody else is boys. There's, like, 4 girls in my class and then 15 boys. There's
It's
just boys everywhere.
Boys take over STEM, so we wanted all girls.
You're getting close to graduating and you're talking about STEM. Are y'all looking into any STEM majors? What are y'all thinking about doing?
No.
I want to go into cybersecurity. I like doing programming for robotics, but if I ever had to do it as a job, I would not like it.
I think I'm going to go into more something like architecture and design.
Awesome.
Has nothing to do with robotics.
Well, you do
but
design a robot.
No,
So, I mean,
yeah.
That's true.
Thank you again for being on the Spark Community Chats. I have enjoyed this podcast extremely. I appreciate y'all talking about the challenges the team has faced and the background about the Nerdettes. I'm excited to see y'all scrimmage later this year. That wraps up our Spark Community Chat. I hope you enjoyed listening to these girls talk about the Nerdettes. Thank you one last time to the Nerdettes and Miss Debbie for being on our podcast.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Bye.
Make sure you're following all our social media pages at UAH I2C to keep updated on all our content. Bye guys, onward and upward.